talk at your table. What moon phase is this? You over here.
This is what you think it
Tell your
is.
friends what phase is that?
New moon. I think
You
it's new moon.
over here. What phase is it? I need your help in 5, 4, 3, 2. Raise your hand if you can tell me what phase is this. What phase is this? Let me see, let me see. Julie, what phase is this?
The new moon.
That is the new moon. Next one. Stop and think. Hands down. Look at the picture. What is it shaped like? It gives you a hint. It's shaped like something. What is it shaped like? Hands down. Stop and think. Turn and talk. What is it shaped like?
It is a Christmas.
Talk. What is it?
You could talk to Skylar. No. Yes. That's the only.
What is it shaped like? But it's there, right? So what part is it? Talk in your group. What is it? What is it? What is it? Not Christmas. There we go. What is it? Table 2. What is it? What is it? Table 1. I need your help in 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm at 2. Charlie, can you help us out? What moon phase is this? It is the crescent. New one. What phase is this? Hands down. Stop and think. What phase is this? What is it? What is it? Say it. Say it. Say it. Say ham. What do you think it is? I need your help in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody, what moon phase is this? It's the half moon. Now this one. Up, hands down. Turn and talk. What moon phase is this? What moon phase is this? What is it? Table 2. What is it? Fire. What phase is it? What phase is this? Okay. I need your help in 5, 4, 3, 2. Jose, can you help us out? What moon phase is this? It is the full moon. Okay, so in our read aloud today, we are going to do something called make a prediction. We are going to be making a prediction. Making predictions is more than just trying to guess what's happening next. When making a prediction, the reader should think carefully. The reader should think carefully about what you already learned and heard. Excuse me. listening. You are thinking about what you have already learned or heard, and you're using that information to make a prediction. So we're not just guessing, we're actually using what we already learned to make a prediction. So, history of space exploration and astronauts. Can you describe what space exploration might be? How might people explore space? Stop and think. Stop and think. Heads up. Learning position. Stop and think. What does it mean to explore space? How do we explore space? If I say, let's explore space, what do you think that means? I didn't say talk yet. What do you think that means when I say explore space? Turn and talk in your group. How do you explore space?
I feel very comfortable inside
I need your help in 5, 4, 3, 2. We talking about being an astronaut, but it's another way that we already learned about how to explore space. It was another way. Somebody invented something. Somebody invented something to help us look into outer space. Think about it. Now turn and talk in your group. What other ways can you explore space? What other ways besides getting in the rocket ship can you explore space? What is it? Do we remember?
That's what I'm talking about.
What is another way? How do we explore space? Got a microscope. I need your help in 5, 4, 3, 2. Skylar, what's one way we can explore space? We can look through a telescope. And tell me, Donovan, what's another way we can explore space? In a rocket ship. If a person is in a rocket ship going to outer space, they are called an astronaut, right?
And they can look in the window.
Let's predict how and why space travel might have begun and what was it like for the first astronauts. So let's make a prediction. Let's think about why would we go into outer space? Stop and think. Why would we, as people, want to go into outer space? Why? And what do you think it's like for a first astronaut? Be the first person to get in a rocket ship and zoop into outer space. You're the first person. Nobody has ever done this. Think about it. Think about it. What would that be like for you to go into outer space? You're the first one to go into outer space. And why would you go into outer space? Why would you want to go into outer space? You're an astronaut. How do you think it makes you feel to be the first person to go in outer space? I want to hear from you. Ibrahim, how do you think it feels to be the first person to go into outer space?
Very, very, very excited.
Very, very, very excited. Why would you be so excited to go to outer space?
Because it's got some crazy stuff.
Does it got some crazy stuff? What's in outer space?
8 planets.
Planets? What else is in outer space?
Stars.
Planets and stars. We learned about planets and stars, right? We learned about planets and stars. So we know that these things are in outer space, and we want to go and explore. Okay? So we're making our predictions about what it is like. We have some core vocabulary words that we need to know. Everybody, repeat after me. Your first word is an astronaut. Say astronaut.
Astronaut.
An astronaut is a person who is trained to travel into space. You have to be trained to travel in outer space. Be an astronaut. Your second word is launch. Everyone say launch.
Launch.
Launch means to lift or push an object forcefully. In the afternoon, they plan to launch the rocket into the air. And then we have the word rockets. Everyone say the word rockets.
Rocket.
Rockets are engines that are used to send things through the air or space. The rocket shot straight up into the air. And our last word is spacecraft. Everyone say spacecraft.
Spacecraft.
Everyone say spacecraft.
Spacecraft.
A spacecraft is a vehicle for traveling in space. So you get on a spacecraft, and on the spacecraft is the rockets, and the rockets launch you up. That's if you're an astronaut. So if you're an astronaut, you get on the spacecraft has the rockets, and the rockets launch you up into outer space. Your last word is technology. Everyone say technology.
Technology.
Everyone say technology.
Technology.
Technology is the use of scientific discoveries to solve common problems. For example, my mom said that all telephones used to be connected by a wire to the wall, but that technology has changed a lot since then. So we have our vocabulary. We went over astronaut, rocket, spaceship, technology, and launch. And then we're going to have some saying and phrases. Using your imaginations, by no means, out of reach, at a heated pace, and you can bet. You're going to hear all those things in your read aloud today. Your purpose for listening. Listen carefully to find out whether or not your predictions about being in outer space is correct. I need for everyone to stand up, push their chairs in. You're coming to the carpet. I'm waiting. Stand up, push your chairs in. You're coming to the carpet. Row 1, come to the carpet. Crisscross all your pockets. Row 2, come to the carpet. Crisscross on your pockets. I need you facing the board. Row 3, come to the carpet. Crisscross. On your pockets, facing forward. Oh, go. Row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. On the carpet, crisscross, on your pockets. I'm still waiting for 100%. I got people that's now in their pockets. I got people now facing forward. I call for row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. Come to the carpet. Crisscross on your pockets. Jose, scoot over. Scoot. Scoot over. There you go. I'm looking for people that's facing forward to earn them some Bama bucks. Kaysen, you're not there yet. Scoot back, Kaysen. Scoot back. Scoot over. Yes, Luke. Okay, can I get them later? Thank you. Sam, I need you to turn and face the forward so you can listen. History of space exploration and astronauts. Ever since the first glaze up at the stars, people have wondered if it was possible and what it would be like to travel into outer space. For most of human history, the idea of traveling into space was considered to be impossible. Space, most people thought, was out of reach, and there was no way humans would ever be able to go there. Still, this does not keep people from using their imaginations and coming up with creative ideas for space travel. The Chinese invented the first rockets. Rockets are engines that push things up in the air. They invented the first rockets hundreds of years ago using the same type of explosion powder used to fire cannons. Lighting the explosion powder would launch the rocket, lifting or pushing it forcefully into the air. Eventually, people thought about using rockets to go all the way into outer space. It was not until about 100 years ago that scientists started to make serious advances in rocket technology, or they started to apply the discoveries they made in rocket science. The rocket you see here are some of those early rockets incorporating new technology. So these rockets were back in the 1950s, which was a long time ago, okay? By the 1950s, rocket technology had improved to the point that people began to think seriously about space travel and exploration. Back then, there was a nation called the Soviet Union, which no longer exists today, but which consists of Russia and other countries near Russia. At that time, the United States was the only other nation in the world as large and strong as the Soviet Union. The leaders of the Soviet Union and the United States each wanted to show the world their country was more powerful than the country being the first rocket to launch into space. So here is a newspaper. This is how most people, well no, this is how everybody got their news back in the day. They had to look at newspapers. We didn't have anything online for you guys to see. All we had was newspapers. We didn't have cell phones and things like that. We had newspapers. Yandel, can you get the door, please? All right, so this is a newspaper from back then. Man enters space. So close yet so far. Sight cap. Yes, ma'am.
Did it rain back then?
Did it rain back then? Yes, it rained. Remember we talked about how the Mayans and how it rained back then? It was a hurricane. All of those weathers, all that stuff happened back then. We just didn't have the technology to keep up with it like we do now. Okay? So this is a newspaper from back then what we were talking about. So the reason why America was going into outer space was because the Soviet Union was going to outer space, and America wanted to be the first one to go into outer space. You know, you guys go to your seat, you say first. Or you go online and say first. America wanted to be the first into outer space. So that's the main reason why they wanted to go into outer space. They wanted to be the first. This photo shows scientists worked. This is the first of hundreds of rockets to be launched from Cape Canaveral. The Soviet Union succeeded in putting the first man-made object in orbit on October the 4th, 1957, by launching a satellite, this is a satellite, called the Sputnik 1. A satellite is an object that moves in a constant orbit around other objects in space. Some of these satellites teach us about space by taking photographs. So a lot of pictures that you get, that you see from outer space, is taken by a satellite. Sputnik 1 was carried into space aboard a rocket and then released. It didn't have an engine like a rocket, so it couldn't get into space by itself. It orbited the Earth for several months before re-entering the atmosphere and burning up. That's what happens to meteors also that hit the Earth's atmosphere. After the success of Sputnik 1, the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union had begun. So it wasn't a real race with a start and a finish line, but both countries wanted to be the first to go into outer space. Each country wanted to prove that the other had a better space program than the other country. For several years, the Soviet Union continued to lead the space race. The leaders and people of each country took the space race very seriously. It was not a game, but a true matter of national pride. National pride means a good feeling about your country or patriotism. The word pride here means a feeling of happiness you get when you do something well. Stop doing stuff. So, the United States developed a space program called the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA for short. The scientists at NASA hurried to try to catch up to the progress the Soviets had made. A few months after the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, NASA scientists in the United States launched a satellite on their own, Explorer 1, pictured here. The space race continued at a heated pace into 1961. So both countries were trying hard to win for 11 years. When Soviet Yuri Gagarin became the first person to go into space and return safely. This is a picture of Gagarin that was taken on the way to the launch pad for his historic journey. You can bet he was feeling very nervous at that point. Why might you think that he felt really, really nervous at this point? What was about to happen? We made a prediction about this. Why do you think that he is so nervous? Lucan. He's the first one and he's worried whether or not he's going to make it safe, right? So he's the first one. There's a lot of things that can go right, but there's also a lot of things that can go wrong. The Americans, who you see here, were close behind. A couple of months after Gagarin made his famous fight, a man named Alan Shepard became the first American to travel to outer space. This picture was taken shortly before Shepard boarded the Freedom 7 spacecraft. A spacecraft is a vehicle used to travel beyond Earth's atmosphere. Notice that Gagarin, Shepard was wearing a helmet and a spacesuit. Space travelers need special gear, and this in order to survive. There are extreme conditions of outer space, where there's no air and where temperatures can both be incredibly hot and incredibly cold. There's also air inside the suit so astronauts can breathe. Okay, we're going to take a pause right there and take a restroom break. Line 5, go stand behind your chairs. Line 4, go stand behind your chairs. Line 3, go stand behind your chairs. Line 2, go stand behind your chairs. Line 1, go stand behind your chairs. Line order, let's go. we have time, we're gonna watch a video of space lunch, the rocket lunch. Noah, can you get the books for me? I'm looking for people who are facing forward, level 0. Your hands are in your pockets, behind your back, or you giving yourself a hug. I'm at 90%. I'm waiting for 100%. AJ's gonna be rushing. Well, I'm looking for people that's facing forward. Let's see who's gonna earn them some dojo points. Beck, if he keeps going away from you, you don't have to keep holding his hand. You do not have to keep holding his hand. Okay? If he pulls away from you, let go. Alright? Let go. See who's coming to the treasure box. You need to have a seat and wait for the restroom line to call on you to go to the restroom. You should be getting you a book. You need to get a book and sit down. Get on the wall. Get a book. Have a seat on the wall. Wait for the restroom monitor to call on you. Let him go. You got a book you need to be reading. I like the way Dawson is reading. I like the way Jose is reading.
Are you supposed to be up? Are they supposed to be up? You better not scream at this door, man.
I like the way Julie is reading. I like the way Skylar is reading. Milan, good job. Skylar and Milan, do you need to use the restroom? No, Milan? Restroom? No? Okay. Let me see. Dawson, did you go? No, you don't need to go? Jose, do you need to go? Jason, do you need to use the restroom? Juan, do you need to use the restroom? You need to go? Come on, baby. Donovan, do you need to go? Corbin, do you need to go? Abraham, do you need to use the restroom? Kaysen, do you need to use the restroom? Come on. Come on, let's go. They already going in there. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Miss Garcia's is a computer lab. Let's go see us in your computer now.
Sebastian, Noah, did we use the restroom? Do we need to go? Let's go. Lena, that's her name, Lena. Anybody else need to use the restroom? Let's go. Anybody else need to use the restroom? All right, line order. Let's go. Noah has the book bucket. Line order. Let's go. You need to wash your hands. Did you wash your hands? Okay. Please cover your mouth. Let's go. Come on. Where are our hands? Which way are we facing? What level we in the hallway? 0 means no noise. Who is this? Come on. Let's go. Hey. Look at see who's still earning up some points. All right, let's go back to the carpet. Crisscross on your pockets, facing the board. Crisscross on your pockets, facing the board. Dawson, where are you going? Dawson, get to the carpet.
Miss Jackson, you doing Class Dojo or PBS? PBS.
Class Dojo right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Crisscross on your pockets, facing forward. Let him in, please. Thank you. Facing forward. That's sideways, Sebastian. Let him in his spot. I'm waiting because I'm not talking over people. Okay, so we left off with Alan Shepard. He's the first American that's going into outer space, okay? And we talked about his spacesuit, how it has air inside the spacesuit to help him breathe. Returning from outer space is just as dangerous as launching into outer space because you crash into the atmosphere on the way back just like meteors do. And what happens to meteors when they crash into the earth? Sam, get over here. What happens, Jose? They catch on fire and they burn, right? So just as if meteors catch on fire and burn, the spaceship also catches on fire and burns. So he has to be rescued. This photo shows the Freedom 7, Alan Shepard's ship after his flight. Shepard is inside this little capsule right here. Right here is where he's in. It's a small closed space that keeps a pilot or astronaut safe when traveling or landing. When his flight was finished, the capsule re-entered the atmosphere and a parachute opened to lower it gently to Earth. Shepard landed in the ocean. Sit down. Sit down. No. No. Shepard landed in the ocean as planned, and the capsule floated there until a helicopter came to recover him. Space travelers like Alan Shepard are called astronauts. The word astronaut comes from two Greek words, astro, meaning star, and naut, meaning sail. So an astronaut is a star sailor, or a person who is trained to travel into space. Although being an astronaut can certainly be one of the most interesting jobs in the world, it is by no means an easy job. Astronauts spend years in training to prepare for journeys into outer space. Astronauts must be healthy and strong because space travel can be very difficult. Astronauts are stuffed into tiny spaces and launched into space by rocket-powered thousands of gallons of powerful fuel. It is scary and it is uncomfortable, but astronauts put up with it. This picture shows an astronaut undergoing training. These Apollo 17 astronauts are learning to use equipment for their mission. Early NASA astronauts also spent hours and hours running in place on treadmills, soaking their feet in ice water, and undergoing a number of other difficult, painful tests intended to make them tough. They had to be tough to be astronauts. Okay, so this is the end. We're going to go back to our seats and we are going to be answering some questions, okay? We're going to be answering some questions about the story. Line 5, go back to your seats. Line 4, go back to your seats. Line 3, go back to your seats. Line 2, go back to your seats. Line 1, go back to your seats. Okay, let's have Casey come sit next to Charlie. Milan, I want you to go sit next to Donovan. Skylar, I want you to get your chair and go to, you can leave your chair here. Skylar, I want you to get your chair and go to table 3. I want you to get your chair and go to table 3. Milan, put your chair over there, baby. Put your chair over there. Leave it right there, Milan. Come here. You come here. All right, you're going to be with them, okay? Skylar, come on over here. You. Right here. Sam, you want to work with a group? Yes? What tape you going to? No? You gonna stay at your table? Okay. I'm gonna check on you. Alright, you're in your group. Sit up, people. Go to bed at night. Sit up. Learning position. Learning position. Turn and face. There you go. Learning position. Knees, feet on the ground. Scoot in. There we go. I am going to ask questions. In your group, you're going to share your thoughts, your opinions. you're listening, and you're participating. Everybody should be saying something because everybody was on the carpet listening. Okay? So we should all be contributing to our conversations. Feet on the ground. Your feet should not be touching hers. First one. In the 1950s, the Soviet Union and the United States competed to see who could go into space first. The Soviet Union and the United States competed to see who could go into space first. What do we call this competition? They had a name for it. Turn and talk in your group. What did they call this competition? What do they call this competition? You and your group. What do they call it? What do they call this competition? America and the Soviet Union. You remember? What about space? What do they call it?
They call it
It was the Soviet Union and Americans. What do they call it?
What do you study?
It was not the Soviet Union race. What kind of race? It wasn't a rocket race. You're close.
Think about what kind of race it is.
I need your help in 5, 4, 3, 2. We got somebody. What do they call it? They called it the space race. What did you say it? Did he say it?
And then he told it to you.
Well, I heard him say it. I didn't hear you say it. Sorry. Next question. The Soviet Union was the first country to launch an object into space, the satellite Sputnik 1. How did they get it into outer space? How did they get that satellite into outer space? Turn and talk in your group. How did they get into outer space? What happened?
They use a rocket.
What's that thing called that helped you get into space? Okay. Let's say what they use.
They use the spaceship. So you had the
They launch it into outer space. But no, that's what the last one they call the space race. But when they put the satellite into space, how they put it in space?
Attach the satellite to the rocket ship, and then they launch the rocket ship, and then the
I need your help in 5, 4, 3. Help me out, Skylar. How did they get that satellite to outer space?
They launched it into outer space with a rocket ship.
They launched it into outer space with a rocket ship. Good job. Next question. The United States wanted to catch up to the Soviet Union. So they started the NASA program and launched a satellite into space. Then both countries launched something else. They launched something else even more important than a satellite.
Do you know?
What did they send into outer space next? Turn and talk. What did they send into outer space next after they sent the satellites?
They just got.
What did they send? Why we playing this crayon? They sent a spaceship? What was it, a spaceship? All right. What they send?
What did they send?
Yeah, go ahead.
What did they send? Y'all know?
What they send?
What did they send?
A rocket ship.
A rocket ship?
No.
What else?
Astronaut?
Astronauts, okay. What else?
I need your help in 5, 4, 3, 2. Yandel, can you help us out? What did they send that was more important than the satellite into outer space?
An astronaut.
They sent astronauts into outer space next. Last question. Would you have wanted to be one of the first astronauts to go into space? Why or why not? Turn and talk in your group. Would you want to be one of the first people to go into outer space? Why or why not? What you think?
Just can I see a book for me?
Would you want to be the first one to go into outer space? Yes, why? Where you going?
You can.
We have to drive back there.
Why? Why you want to be the first one to go into outer space?
The rocket ship. Because you fall down when it's in space.
You don't want to fall down when you're in outer space.
No.
Why? You want to be in outer space? Because you want to see the stars?
Yes.
What else is in outer space you want to see?
The moon.
Is that the moon?
Yes.
You want to see the stars in the moon?
Yes.
I need your help in 5, 4, 3, 2. We get excited. I want to hear some good stuff. Why or why not would you want to go into